Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and my name is Siri. In this video, let's talk about fear. I know many of you are afraid to speak in English, and let me just share something with all of you which is going to help you overcome that fear. So recently, when I was speaking on this app called Siri, I come across a lot of people who actually speak good English, and I come across people who are beginners in English. So people who are beginners, they really want to speak good English. But one thing that is stopping them from being fluent in English is that fear. They are afraid to speak in English. They know what kind of words to use, they know what kind of sentences to use, but they're still afraid just because the other person is going to judge them. See, one thing I would like to tell you is that if you know good words, you know good sentences, but you have that fear inside your mind and inside your heart, you can never be fluent in English. Okay, it's time to get rid of that fear. What is going to happen to the most if you speak in English and you're just having a conversation with that person? That is not going to decide your entire life. Okay, you are just trying to be fluent in English. I know many of you out there want to speak fluent English from a very long time. You have been researching a lot, you have been learning a lot every single day, you're reading, you are listening to a lot of podcasts, but when it comes to speaking, you are afraid to speak in English. Why? Why are you afraid to speak in English? Number one, people are going to judge you. That should not matter to you at all. Number two, if you do not speak in English, you can never be fluent in English. Okay, you must be thinking that, okay, I will gather all the knowledge, I will read, I will write, I will listen. So this knowledge is enough for me to speak in situations where I'm required to speak. So I'll directly speak. No, it is not going to happen that way. If you want to speak in English, there is no other way other than you taking that step to speak in English. Okay, there is no other way. You have to overcome that fear. In your head, if you are thinking that, okay, I don't have to overcome fear, it is going to happen naturally when I go on the stage and I speak, when I speak to people, it is going to happen naturally. It's not going to happen like that. Even for me, when I initially started to learn this language, I had that fear. Okay, I agree, I had that fear, but I also had a clarity that if I don't overcome this fear now, I will have to survive with this fear forever. Instead of surviving with this fear forever, it's better if I get rid of this now. The step that I take might be difficult, but I don't want my rest of the life to be difficult. That is what I would like to tell you guys as well. If you do not want to survive with that fear of speaking in English, I recommend and I request all of you to take that step now. Go on to this app called Siri and just try to take at least 2-3 calls with strangers. And remember, while you're talking, that you should not be afraid of speaking in English. That is what should be there in your mind. Just go on to that app and take at least 2 or 3 conversations, and I'm sure with those 3 conversations, you can actually see an improvement in yourself. So go onto this app, take the conversation, make sure that you're not being afraid to speak in English. See, you're not even seeing that person. You are just listening the voice of that person, and that person does not even know who you are. You are just using that platform to speak in English. There is no point of being afraid. There is no point of being scared. You only got to practice. You ask yourself, what is important to you? You being afraid is important to you, or you speaking fluent English is important to you? If you think that being fluent in English is the utmost thing that is important to you, then make sure that you're taking this step to overcome that fear. If you think fear is important to you, then do not even take this decision of being fluent in English. So I would recommend that you better get rid of that fear today itself. Today, it's the time for you to get rid of that fear. I'm not saying that your fear will be removed just like this. It will take time, okay? I'm telling you, it will take time. But it will take time when you put that effort. If you assume that, okay, it will take time, I will give it some time and I'll be fluent in English, no, that's not going to happen. You have to take that effort, and then only it will take some time. It will help you to get rid of that fear. And how many days you are going to survive with that fear? You wanted to be fluent in English from a very long time. You have taken that decision long ago, and still you are surviving with that fear. How long do you think you are going to survive with that fear? If you don't get rid of it, it is going to stay with you forever, and it is going to be an obstacle for you in a lot of situations which require you to speak in English. And do you think that is going to make you happy? Not at all. So you better get rid of that fear right now itself. And one of the best ways to get rid of that fear is to have conversations, as many as you can. Please have conversations. See, the first conversation that you have with people is obviously not going to be good, but as you increase it, as you have more and more conversations with people, I'm sure it is going to help you a lot. And whenever I speak on this app called Siri, I ask people like how they are improving, how their practice is going on. So trust me when I say this, they always tell me that, their first conversation on this app was very nervous. They could not even speak a lot of English at that particular point of time. But after having like 6-7 conversations, they are able to express themselves properly. So if you want to reach that stage where you're able to express yourself properly without having to be afraid to speak in English, you should go through that first conversation, right? You go through that first conversation, that is going to teach you a lot, which you will improve in your second conversation, and that is also going to teach you a lot. And with every conversation, you will keep improving yourself, and that is how you will get rid of that fear. And that is what has happened with me as well. When I had my first conversation in English, of course, I was very nervous. I was scared to speak in English because of the judgmental mind of people. But with every single conversation, I just kept improving myself, which eventually helped me to get rid of that fear. And getting rid of that fear is like removing the difficult obstacle in your journey. Okay, that is the most difficult nut to crack, in my opinion, because once you get rid of this, major part of your problem is gone when it comes to being fluent in English. So at the end of this video, I would request all of you to please download this app and have at least 2 conversations. At least 2, maximum is up to you, but at least have 2 conversations. You will try to see an improvement in yourself. The first conversation is going to be a very uncomfortable conversation, but the second conversation, you are going to improve yourself little bit. And when you do that every single day, I'm sure you are going to improve yourself, and you're eventually slowly going to get rid of that fear to speak in English. And if you keep assuming things, just sitting and assuming things, that's not going to solve your problems. You take actions, you do what's right to be fluent in English, you practice every single day, and that's how your problems are going to get solved when it comes to being fluent in English. So this is what I would like to tell you. This is the ultimate problem that we all need to overcome if we want to take a step forward. And that fear is just stopping you from not doing anything. So just get rid of that, and it is possible to every single person out there. And you see people speaking fluent English today, that means they have someday they've overcome that fear of speaking in English. That is why they are able to speak in English. If not, they would have just survived with that fear. You want to survive with that fear, or you just want to overcome it? Ask this question to yourself, and you know the answer, what to do. And I know I sound boring when I say practice and speak. That is what you got to do. There is no another mantra to it. You have to do this, that's it. So just promise to yourself that you're at least going to have 2 conversations every single day to overcome this fear. This is the amount of effort that you're putting from your side, and see the results. You will be amazed, and that's all I can tell you. So yes, that's it for the video. I truly hope you guys liked it. I will leave the link of the app in the description box. If you want it, you can please check it out. And just try it, give it a try. What's wrong in giving it a try? So please do give it a try and check it for yourself. And when you keep having conversations, you are going to improve a lot. I can be very sure of that. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in my next video. Till then, you take care. I will see you soon. Bye.